With 9 out of 10 video consumers saying they want to see more videos from brands and businesses, it's a no-brainer to make sharing video on social media a high priority. But what if you just don't have the time to create brand new social media videos from scratch? Keep listening to find out the best way to repurpose your existing videos into awesome social media videos. You're listening to the Content 10x podcast, where it's all about content repurposing. I'm Amy Woods, and I'm here to help you maximize your content and find smart ways to get your message in front of more of the right people, whilst also saving time. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Amy Woods, founder of Content 10x, and welcome back to another episode of the Content 10x podcast. This week's episode is about repurposing videos for social media. Now, here's a fun fact for you. Did you know that video content is becoming so attractive that digital agency Zenith Media predicts that we'll spend on average 100 minutes a day consuming online video content? That's this year. That is their prediction for 2022. Now, obviously, that's on a variety of platforms, and with the sustained year-on-year growth with social media, I think we can all agree that a huge portion of it will be on social media platforms. So it's more important than ever for businesses to get video content out on their social media platforms, because it's what people want and it's so engaging, 48% more engaging than any other social media content type. But it can be really time consuming to create new videos just for social media. So why not take your existing videos and transform them into social media videos? So in this episode, I'm sharing the best practice repurposing for long-form videos into social media videos. If you're a long-time Content 10x listener, you'll know that I've touched on this topic in the past, but with so many changes to social media video in the last year alone, I felt it was time for an update, so a little bit of a refresh. In this episode, we're going to cover the types of video that are great for repurposing into social media content, the different platforms that you can create videos for, how to repurpose them into videos, and the tools that you can use to streamline your processes. Now, I do just want to say that we're not going to talk about video ads for social media in this episode. That may come another day, but this episode is just all about organic content. So first, let's think about the kind of videos that you can repurpose to social media. Your business might have all sorts of videos on its website or intranet that would be perfect for sharing on social media with just a little bit of editing. So there could be training and tutorial videos, explainer videos, product videos, interviews, webinars, user-generated content. These are just some types of video content that might seem like website-only content, but all it takes is a bit of repurposing magic to get it up to social media standard. Now, the great thing about social media videos is that they don't have to have really big production value or huge budgets to be a success. And in fact, far from it. That's not what we expect or really what we want on social media. And that's why even the simplest clips go viral. The trick is to publish videos that speak to your audience and in a native way for the platform that they are on. So that video, it might be someone sharing a tip or a piece of advice. It may only be 10 seconds long, but if it's valuable to your audience and aligns with your message, then it's a great candidate to post on social media. So don't worry too much about all the bells and whistles. There are golden content nuggets in your existing video content that will work perfectly on social media, trust me. So now you're thinking about your audience, I want you to think about where they hang out on social media. Is it LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube? And even Pinterest will let you post videos now. So they all have different video specs and styles. So if you're building a repurposing process from the ground up, it might be wise to start with just 1 or 2 platforms and consider if you need to branch out later. I recommend, just really focusing on the platform where your ideal clients hang out the most to really boost your presence and get in front of them more often. So let me just give you a quick overview of each platform and you'll see why I recommend starting with one. So let's start with the more simple ones when it comes to video content. So there's LinkedIn, and there are just 2 types of video that you can post to your page or profile that will show up on your follower and contacts home feeds. The first type is LinkedIn native video. So this is video uploaded directly to LinkedIn or created on the platform via the app, and they can be up to 15 minutes long and anyone can share them. And the second type is LinkedIn live video, which is only available to those who apply to have the live feature for LinkedIn. And it can only be created using a third-party broadcast tool as well. So StreamYard or Ecamm, there's lots of different streaming tools. You get told all about that when you get accepted to have the LinkedIn live feature. Do check out the LinkedIn help pages for advice and guidance on this. And I'll come on to why live video is relevant shortly, but now on to Twitter. So for Twitter, you can post native videos up to 2 minutes and 20 seconds long. And then Facebook, that has an extra dimension, so you can go live and you can post native videos up to 240 minutes long, so that's 4 hours long. But you also get Facebook stories as well, so they are vertical only videos up to 2 minutes long, and they are available to view in a separate stories feed, which puts all the vertical stories into one almost carousel style feed, and they disappear after 24 hours. And then there's Instagram, arguably the most comprehensive options for video on one social platform, because it supports live video, native feed videos up to 60 minutes long, vertical stories which get broken up into 15-second segments, and reels up to 1 minute long as well. And like Facebook, the stories feed is a bit different to the native video feed, in that they disappear after 24 hours. So it's a bit more of a Snapchat vibe with that feature. And then there's another feed for Reels, but you can elect to have Reels videos in your main grid as well as showing on this Reels feed. So lots of video options with Instagram. And then there's TikTok, the vertical video platform that allows native video up to 3 minutes long, or you can do live video on TikTok as well. And finally, if you are interested in Pinterest, the only option is to post native videos up to 15 minutes long. Now, I know there's a lot to remember from what I've just gone through with the different platforms, so I'll pop links in the show notes to resources with more information on these aspect ratios and file types and sizes and length and all the need to know information. So it's not enough to decide what platform you want to repurpose your video to. You also need to decide what platform specific format to go for as well. Each format has its own nuances. For example, on Instagram, your process for repurposing a video to a story will be different to repurposing your video to a feed post. To keep things simple, I'm going to talk about the process of repurposing your video, which I assume will be in landscape because typical videos for websites usually are, or YouTube, and we'll talk about repurposing into a native feed post, a reel or a TikTok style video, and a story. Hey, just a little break from this week's episode to let you know about becoming a Content 10x Insider. If you want more content repurposing tips and advice, then why not join hundreds of business owners, marketers and content creators who get them delivered straight to their inbox once a week by subscribing to the Content 10x newsletter. As well as tips and advice, you get industry updates, inspiring stories, exclusive content, offers and more. You can subscribe at content10x.com/newsletter, and there's a link in the show notes too. Okay, back to this week's episode. So no matter what type of video you're planning to create, all video to social media repurposing starts the same way. First, you need to decide what type of video you're creating. You may want to create only feed videos or only reels or TikToks or only stories. I'd advise a mix, but as I said at the beginning, go where your audience are. If you're not sure what your audience like, then you could test them and see the response. And of course, ask your audience as well. So where you have their attention, ask them. So next you need to watch your video carefully. This is the video that you are going to repurpose, and note down the segments that will work well on social media for your chosen type of video. Now these moments should be informative, entertaining, thought-provoking, maybe even polarizing if that's your thing, but something that grabs your audience attention. Now always make sure the clip for social media stands alone without any other context. It's not interesting to anyone if you needed to hear what was said beforehand to really understand it, or if there's a reference to something earlier in the video, and the same thing for anything after. There's no point choosing a clip that will only fully make sense if you need to also hear the second half of the sentence. So whatever you do, don't choose a clip that starts with, as I was saying before, because that's going to be annoying for people. Before, what were you saying? It's going to lack that context. Now, it's okay to have a tease. So perhaps in the teaser video, you say in it, I'll share that tip soon, but cover that off in your social media copy. So you'd say, I hope you enjoyed that tip. If you would like to hear the second tip mentioned in the clip, then head to. So at least if you have a tease, make sure that you address the tease in the social media copy. Next is the editing stage. You can use the social media apps themselves or even use your smartphone to edit your video. But if you want a more professional finish, you could use Final Cut Pro, Camtasia, Adobe Premiere Pro, Filmora, Descript, or any of the other paid or free video editing softwares that exist. And it's really crucial to get this editing stage right, so make sure you pay close attention to the dimensions and the length required. And you can get all the up-to-date information on this in our downloadable guide, How to Repurpose Horizontal Videos for Social Media. So just head to content10x.com/repurpose video to get that guide. It's completely free and it's really, really helpful. I'll also put the link in the show notes. So once you've chosen that great clip and you have edited your video, it's a good idea to add captions. 85% of people watch social media videos with no sound, so consider adding closed captions. So you can get closed captions files created, an SRT file, from a site like rev.com. So you will upload your video and then they will generate the caption file, and then you need to take that SRT, that caption file, and align it with the video, burn it onto the video. You can use your video editing software. There's lots of tools out there that will do this for you. Or you can also get the captions added quite often in the social media platform itself, so the editing tool for the social media platform. For example, Instagram Reels and TikTok allow you to add captions when you are editing before you hit that publish button. So whatever you do, do make sure that you are getting captions added onto these social media videos. If you're creating videos for stories, then the video will be good to go. But if you're creating native videos for the main feed or for Reels videos, then there's one more thing that you need to add, and that's the text. That's the caption, that's the copy that goes with the video. So both Reels or TikToks and native feed posts need that caption, and it's a perfect place to add any extra context, to elaborate on the points of the video and tell the reader and the viewer what to do next. So have those calls to action as well. For example, check out the full video here and provide a link to where the full video is that you have repurposed this shorter video into. Now, whatever platform or video style you're creating for, pay really close attention to the first few words of your caption. You need to hook the reader in a very short number of characters. So try leading with a question to get your audience thinking. Just make sure that the video or your accompanying caption explains the answer. So then you're good to publish or schedule the repurposed video. If you've created lots of social media videos from one original video, you may want to use a scheduling tool like Hootsuite or Buffer or Sprout Social or MeetEdgar. There's loads of different scheduling tools out there to spread them over a period of weeks or months. And this will ensure your content keeps giving long after your repurposing has ended. But I just want to add a caveat to this. If you want to make the most of TikTok or Instagram Reels and the uniqueness and platform-specific features, like adding music and words on the screen, I mentioned already, but adding captions, GIFs, maybe filters, then you'll want to publish native within the app, because publishing via a third-party tool is great for staying consistent and batching up work. But if you want to make the most of those features and make your video seem really native as well to the platform, then you'll want to publish using the app itself. So that's the process you can follow for repurposing your existing videos into compelling, bite-sized social media videos. And I know there's been a lot of information to take in this episode, so check out the link in the show notes to the blog post if you need to revisit any of the information, and you can just head to content10x.com/223 as well. Now, I shared in this episode that we have a free download as well that shows you how to repurpose horizontal videos to vertical social media videos. Head to content10x.com/repurpose video if you want to grab a free copy of that download. And if you want some video tutorials that actually show you exactly how to repurpose videos for social media, then you may want to check out the Content 10x Toolkit. So head to content10x.com/toolkit for checklists and video tutorials and so much more to help you repurpose your video and audio content. So I hope this episode has been super useful. Let me know if you enjoyed it. You can send me a message on social media. I'm at Content10x, and you can find me on LinkedIn. I'm sure Amy Woods, founder of Content 10x. As always, if you want help with repurposing your content, then do check out our content repurposing services. Fully done for you, end-to-end repurposing of videos and audio content. So just go to content10x.com/services. All that's left to say is thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you in the next episode.